195.79 Celsius. Physical movement or brain function not detected. Subject status stable. Inspection 481 complete.
Once Human. It's a highly anticipated, massive multiplayer open-world survival game. That's a mouthful. And I was fortunate enough to get a key code for Christmas for the beta test. The beta test closes January 24th, but I can tell you, if they released it now as early access, it would be more polished than a lot of the games out there. So far, the only glitches I've seen have been visual glitches, like what just happened in that fight where I just so epically hit that deviant that it knocked my own skin design off.
What the hell was that?
That was a deviant, a mutated human who was infected by Stardust.
I was meaning to ask you about that.
Stardust?
Oh god! Oh.
The introductory level to the game, which is the tutorial basically for combat and interaction with enemies, is, in my opinion, it's good. I liked it, I enjoyed it. It wasn't too much, it wasn't too little, it was just enough to get you into the game and going. Because if a tutorial drags out too long, you start to kind of lose interest. At least I do. I want to get into the main game. I liked the layout of it, I liked the look of it. You get fed bits and pieces of the lore for the foundation of the world and what's going on and what you are going to end up dealing with when you get out there. But it isn't fed to you in such a way where it drags on. It is, again, done in bite-sized pieces that don't overwhelm you or underwhelm you. It's pretty much just about right. One thing I really like about the combat in this game is that everything it feels like it has mass. Like your character is actually swinging something heavy. You're actually firing something heavy. Your character feels like they're affected by the world as they move through it, which is a really nice aspect of the game, in my opinion.
Hello, Mayfly. It is good to see you up and moving around.
Your voice. Who are you?
I, like you, was once a regular human. But now, I am an agent of change. A glimmer of hope in a broken world.
What does that mean?
From the introduction, I believe that was the butterfly that you catch and put in your backpack, and she can take on a human form. And due to her design and the way my character looks, I have decided that she is my character's little sister. So from now on, she is Little Sister. I proceed to play Little Sister, an absolute banger of a song on the piano. Anyway, she transfers you to a different reality, and you're at a house, and you go through the process of learning some more things, such as the fact that she doesn't enjoy fun Japanese pop. She prefers classical music. And then we get thrust into our first actual battle. The ones in the training area were, just letting you learn how to fire and shoot and all that kind of stuff. Baby steps to combat. And now we're into Baby's first battle. And it's a pretty good one. I like the cutscene. There's a real sense of danger and an imposing creature rising up to get ya. The weapons are a lot of fun. And like I said before, things have a weight to them. Like when your character is carrying the Gatling gun, it looks like it's heavy and has some heft to it. It doesn't look feather light when they pick it up. Granted, it is abnormally large, but you're also not a regular human, so, I mean, it's understandable that there is some superhuman strength involved. But the way fighting was fun, I enjoyed it, and I particularly liked the bazooka. I kind of wish that I had used it sooner.
Your journey back is complete. Now, a new journey must begin. For the wheel of evolution never stops turning. Only the direction we travel is left unresolved.
I think the dude bro is the human form of V. I'm not sure. I tried talking to him, but only succeeded in awkwardly opening the window behind him. Finally, it is time to enter the main world. And little sister kicks you out the door, and you drop down to the earth. Well, you glide down to the earth with V being your glider, which was pretty neat and reminded me a bit of Valheim and its intro, which I really enjoyed. And that's a good time to state that this game seems to take a lot of inspiration from other games and other gaming aspects. It's like all the good stuff bundled into one game in a fresh new setting, and I really like that. I think that's one of the big draws for me.
We made it.
As you can see, it's
We're back in the
another
real
visual
world.
glitch
Really?
where my character's eyebrows are gray and her irises are, like, I don't know, brown or something.
Okay. so
This
now
was
what?
fixed when I logged out and logged back in. It's not a big deal.
Shut down the Silver
I
Gate
did find it
Society.
funny that the angle of which they were standing, she ended up talking to a wall and not V. I was very pleasantly surprised when I got into the actual game itself. From what I had seen of other people playing it, which was very limited to be honest, I thought it was just an exploration shooter. I didn't realize that it had survival aspects, like the whole, beat a tree and get wood and build with wood and all that kind of stuff. It was nice. I really like those kinds of games, and that just seemed like yet another thing I was going to like about this game. Again, it's just a bunch of great aspects from different great games rolled into one. So I ran around for a bit, hitting rocks and gathering
How bad did
wood.
things get when this Rosetta Corporation opened those gates?
It got real bad. The death toll alone was unfathomable. They called it Starfall. Far too pretty a name for what actually happened.
And today?
It's still bad.
And also took on some deviants to test out, what the differences were from the tutorial to the real world. And so far, they were pretty much the same. The AI doesn't seem that intuitive or hard to fight. At least with the basic mobs that I have come across so far. Here is where I finally got to get my backstab in that I missed in the beginning, and it was very satisfying. It just had so much weight and heft to it. So one of the first things that I was told to do by the, beginning tutorial was to set up a camp, and I did so. And it's a very handy camp. You can cook food at it and craft minor things like arrows. Well, they call them arrows. They're bolts for your crossbow, and boil water to drink and all that. The issue was that I ended up setting it up right next to a corrupted crocagator spawn. So he and I weren't going to be friends. Now, as mentioned before, there is a lot to learn with this game. There's a lot of sub-menus and things like that, but the way the game delivers them to you, it's done in bite-sized servings, so it's fairly easy to take in and quick to take in, and with repetition, you really get the hang of it. I like the menu system, and I'll get into it more, but the crafting, oh my gosh, they did that very well, so it's not super overwhelming, and you don't have to memorize a whole lot of different stuff to make things. Now, these maps allow for a lot of players to be in one session at the same time. I'm hearing numbers in the thousands, like I think the highest I heard was 4,000, which is insane. And it's really cool. I mean, I think it's a great thing to see. It's gonna get intense, I'm sure. The one issue is that the noob area I landed in was absolutely overpopulated, and so I had to set about finding a new spot so I could just get through the starter tutorial tasks. But I did find a spot. And the house I'm working on, I'm not exactly too proud of. It's very box Bambi, as Mr. Reach would say. But it works, and when I get the hang of things, I will definitely be building a much better base in the future because I like the building mechanics. It's very clean and straightforward. And the wallpapers and floors are free, so you can, change and customize the interior and even exterior however you want, which I do later on. It doesn't look good. I've sped it up quite a bit, but I wanted to show you, to give you an idea of the game building modes and the different things that you can build. Like there's a thing to break down items into smaller components and stuff like that. A disassembler is what they call it. And just how easy it is to put up and take down walls and collect the resources you need to do so. Because there is a lot to this game, and you can't spend all your time just building, even though I feel like I could. And someone else did, because later on you'll see in the video, someone built a massive house up behind mine overnight while I wasn't online, so that's pretty funny. I did see other players out and about. They tended to keep their distance, not really interacting at all, which was fine with me. I mean, we're all, taking our first steps and getting the hang of the game. Socializing can come later. Anyway, as you can see, I decide to expand my base because there's more workstations that I need to build, and my place would get very cramped very quickly if I didn't expand. And it's just a matter of a few clicks, wall is gone, and you can then, obviously make your base bigger. Yay! Very handy system. I do enjoy it, and you are limited to a certain space for your territory, and you do have to put resources into your territory marker so that it upkeeps. I was also very excited to find that there was an emote wheel with readily available emotes already. Though there's clearly space for more, and that's just fantastic, because I could also see this being a great RP game. Because I am hoping that, people will be able to have their own servers, and the RP communities could have at this game, because I think it's a perfect foundation for them. And plus, it also just makes it easier to quickly interact with other people instead of chatting, because there's a lot of language barrier.
Stop right there! Who are you? Where are you from?
I had to include this because I kind of hope they change this lady's voice, because when I hear it, all I can think of is Neebs from Neebs Gaming impersonating a grandma. No offense meant, but it's stuck in my head now. But we have made it to the safe zone, which is actually just across the river from my base, and we got our first quest from a lady. There's plenty of other things to do here as well, like there's some shops, and then you can check the mail box to get daily login rewards, which is nice. But anyway, yeah, got my first quest to go on an adventure.
Deviation for us. I'll talk it over with everyone here and scrounge together a reward, if you can solve this problem.
I ran into another fellow with another quest, but the voice acting lines for this section were not done yet. So it's another example of what is still to come for the full release and what they are still working on. But the subtitles are there, so you do get an idea of what you are supposed to do. And no, I wasn't muted. You can hear the game sounds in the background like crickets and stuff. The voice lines just weren't recorded, which isn't a big deal to me. It's a work in progress, after all. I got it in my head that the quest I received from the lady in the safe zone was going to be something far above my level range and that I needed to work my way up to doing it. And so I went to one of the nearby locations just to clear it out and see what items I could find, because I needed to get scraps and things like that anyway to build another workbench, and just to see what else I can unlock on the building, side of things and what blueprints there are and all that kind of fun stuff. It's also just to get more gameplay footage in for people to see, because I want a large community hankering for this game. It's so much fun. I look forward to playing it whenever I get a chance. And I would love to see it have a nice big reception when it finally is released next year in the third quarter, which is so far away. Another bonus, just a side note, is that as far as I'm aware, the developers do not intend on having microtransactions in the game or any pay-to-win features or, pay to power up faster or anything like that, which is so refreshing to hear. It sounds like it is thoroughly going to be a put-together game meant for enjoyment, not money-making. Though I do hope they make a lot of money so that they can continue developing it to such a fantastic degree as they have already without it even being released. You can tell I'm a pretty big fan of it. Minor glitches and all. Funnily enough, as I went back to my old haunt in the direction of the quest area, I noticed that someone put their campsite where my old campsite used to be. I hope they enjoy their new pet gator, who isn't fond of head pats. I almost got shot as well by another player. Well, that is something worth mentioning. There will be PvP, but you have to set your flag for PvP in the safe worlds, which is nice, because then it's PvE focused. And from what I understand, there will be PvP servers for each region where you don't have to set a flag, where it's just open PvP. It's going to cater to both major parties that will be playing this game, PvPers and PvEers. I think that's a good way to balance things. Finally, I got on with completing that quest that was given to me by the safe zone lady. Unfortunately, I didn't have any more ammo because I had wasted it on my new pet gator because I built next to another corrupted crocagator spawn. Go me! So I was left with a crossbow and bolts to fight the mini-boss that protected the quest area. That was a lot of fun. I mean, I actually did genuinely enjoy it. It was just pretty challenging. It was quite satisfying when I beat the boss. I feel like it would have gone a lot faster with guns rather than a crossbow, but again, that just made it all the more satisfying to do. But it was a very good starter quest, and I enjoyed working on it and seeing more of the setup for the free-range, open-world task completions. This quest was hilarious in the fact that the NPC names that you're investigating, there's Kiefer Sutherland and Annette Bening. I got a good laugh out of those. I can't wait for them to have the voice acting put in so it's much more immersive. I almost considered reading out the lines myself just to help get viewers more involved, but with the way this video was structured, it just wouldn't have worked out. Maybe the next one. We'll see. I'm not much of a voice actor, but it could be fun. Overall, it was a very quick quest. One of the bonuses to it was that around the area you could collect corn and berries, which are very, very good resources to have as food. And, well, eating and drinking are an important part of this game. Like, it actually buffs your damage and everything when you eat more. And food spoils, even when you're offline. Like, I logged in and all the food in my inventory was gone and bad. But I got back to the safe zone with some bonus berries and corn in my pocket, also some wheat so I could make flatbread, and I turned the quest in to who seems to be very much the drama queen.
Crazy.
Ooh, let me get a pen and paper. All right, go on.
She wanted to write it all down to tell other people all about it. I thought that was a funny little quirk. And now I would like to talk about the crafting menus. While I'm not far enough into the game to say how in-depth they really get and how many options there are, it does seem like there's going to be a very wide variety. But the thing that I loved the most of all was that when you went to make something, if you didn't have all of the items to make it, you could hover over the slot, see what was necessary, and if you had all the items to make that item, you can craft it right there and fill that slot to make the main item. That's freaking awesome to me. I love that. It makes it so that you don't have to keep track of things and make a mess of your desk writing things down and all of that. It's a very organized system. It looks like there's a lot, which there is, but the way it's organized keeps it manageable and enjoyable. If you want to learn more about this game, I highly suggest watching King Goliathan's video. It's very informed, and he did a lot of research into it, and he played over 100 hours so far. I will be linking that in the end of the video. If you've stuck it out this far, kudos to you. You're at the end of the video, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I also hope that you find this game interesting, and maybe it's one that you'll add to your list to get in 2024. That said, I wish you all a happy new year, and thank you so much for all of the support that I've gotten recently on my videos. I hope to be getting back to the Isle soon, but since the beta for this game is going to be ending in January, I kind of want to focus on it a bit more, so I hope that's okay. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, maybe subscribe if you like my content, and I hope to chat with you in the comments. Thanks again, and Happy New Year. Bye.